Go into your working folder and pick up processglobal.ai. Nice little aeroplane. We're going to talk about in this chapter setting up colors in the Swatches panel and what a global color is, which is actually pretty neat. I'm going to go into Essentials as a workspace. That's where I am. I'm going to drag out Swatches, kicking and screaming, obviously, and there it is. Now you will notice there's not much in there, is there? Not much at all. If I go back to the image that we used in the previous lesson, look at all the colors in that thing. Lots of colors. You populated that with a lot of colors. Where did the colors go in this one? I took them all out. There's something that's very important to remember about Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is a document-specific program. Things that you see in your gradients and in your swatches and things like that will be determined by what was saved with the document. So when you open it, you get what was ever there when it was saved. Now that's frustrating sometimes if you don't realize that. And you go, oh, I didn't know that. I thought I had more colors. But it's also really kind of nice because it does eliminate clutter if you don't want all those colors. So with that said, I just took them all out to eliminate color and we could focus on what we're doing here. We need to change the color of the fuselage of that airplane. Now we've got different color guides and things up here we can use. And we decide, okay, we need to do this. Now I have my selection tool over here. And this is a group. It's one big group. Now we talked about selection in the previous the previous chapter, and that's fine. We've got a couple of ways we can do this. We can pick up our regular selection tool and double click. That's what we're going to do. We could pick up direct selection and get in the group. Let's do it this way. Let's go isolation. So with the selection tool, I double click on the fuselage. Now notice the sky goes gray. Okay, we're isolating the sky, focusing on the airplane. We double click again, and you can see up here, we're now in that second group. So I can click on these things and actually select them. Now if I come up here and choose a color, the one thing you want to remember is that if you have an object selected, when you choose a color, it will change the color of the selected object or objects. Now let's say we like something about like that. We're happy with that. But we need to change the wing too. So let's stop and save this color. Now we can do that very easily. Actually, there's two very easy ways to do it. You can drag it over here. That'd be one way. I'm going to undo. My way of doing it usually is to click the new button because I get the options easy that way. So it's telling me it's got no red, it's got 244 green and 247 blue. It is a process color. The only other option you have is spot colors. We're not going to talk about spot colors. We're going to stay on process. It's not a global. We won't check that. You can change the color space if you want to, and you can mess around with it down here. Now, what are these things right here? The cube and the warning. The cube on the top means that the color you've chosen is outside of the gamut for web safe. Little warning sign on the bottom means it won't reproduce on a 4-color press. Let's say we are going out to press and we want this color as close as possible. If you click here, it'll try to do that for you. So if it goes away, that means this is a color that will reproduce on a 4-color press. We're happy with that. Let's come up here and change the name to Airplane Color. Click OK. Okay, we're still in isolation mode. Click the wing up here and then click the color right here. We are on the fill, not the stroke down here. That's why this is on the top. You want to change the stroke, you click here. We're just changing the fill, so we're happy we've got that done. So our client comes, let me press escape, and this will take us out of all these groups, and we're back into just looking at the image. Client comes in and says, nah, wrong color. I don't know what the problem was, but that's the wrong color. And I wanted you to use X, and he gives us some numbers, whatever. So we come in here again, and we plug those numbers in. But the problem is, well, I don't know, it's not really a problem. The thing of it is we'll have to go back and change the airplane again. We'll have to reselect those pieces and change it to the new color because it's not a global. Now let's do this. Let's get out of here. Let's actually get rid of that one. Okay, it'll ask you, let me move this up here for you. It will ask you, are you sure you want to do that? Now that's just one more question I don't need to answer. If you want to delete a color and you don't want to answer the question, hold on the Alt key, Option key on a Mac, and Alt in Windows, and when you click it, it will just do it. Now you can always press undo if you felt you made a mistake. Let's build a global color this time. So let's go into New right here. Now, as you can see, it will give us the last color we did, which is fine. Let's go ahead and mess about with it a little bit, change a couple of things, and make it a different color. You can see it over here. Okay, let's change to a global. And let's call it again. These names just leap out at you, don't they? Let's go ahead and click OK. Now you're going to notice a difference. There is a little dog ear on the end of that block. That means visually it's a global color. Now we're still going to have to go in and make the change first off. Come in here to isolation mode, double click once, double click twice. Select that, change the color. Select this. Let me get down just a little bit more right there and change that. Globals. Looks the same, prints the same, there's no difference there. Client comes back in and says, look, we're not communicating. That's the wrong color. Now let's say you use that all over the place. Well, here's the cool thing. Go back in and double click on the swatch. That's the global color. We'll turn preview on. Now watch what happens when I begin working. Global colors are attached to the objects. Changing a global color will change any object within the document that you're working in. It's document specific again. So if you want control of the colors and changing, I use globals a lot because I experiment. I want to set something up and then make some changes to the color and watch the changes as I maneuver through the document. And that's a neat thing about globals. But if you don't want that, if you want the color to be the color, no matter what you do to it, then you turn global off. That's the difference between a process and a process global color. Pretty cool though when you think about it.